So hello everyone, and we are streaming some Crazyhouse League action. 2 games of 5+5 between the board ones, TheFinnisher against RapidVariants. This is round 1 of season 6 of the Crazyhouse League, which is a team league competition organised on Lichess, and here goes. We have some e4, e5 action, TheFinnisher going down mainline theory against RapidVariants. Is that a risky strategy? We will see. Going for bishop e7 stuff, which is supposed to be slightly safer than going for bishop c5. Or the lines are slightly more complicated, at least. And the sack on f7, interesting. Okay, so taking with the queen is slightly slower in terms of development, but the queen maybe offers some protection for the king. Maybe if you took with the knight, it would have closed off this diagonal, so that's why he's taking with the queen. And so white's plan is clearly to work on the dark squares. e6 is a big weakness in black's position, and obviously white being moving first has some initiative. I'm just going to quickly check that everything's fine in terms of the stream. Hopefully I can get feedback that everything's okay with the stream. Yep, it's showing on the Lichess featured streams, so everything seems to be okay. Okay, so yeah, square to watch out for in black's position is e6. And I see here GSVC and Metin48, who is the Ishak's old account, watching. Okay, so RapidVariants, does he want a knight? I mean, this square or this square, perhaps? So I guess he's thinking, where does he want to put a bishop and where would he want to put a knight? And the problem with taking the knight, it might be beneficial for him, but it would help black develop in a way. So black doesn't actually have that many moves, many useful moves. He actually has only 2 useful moves, putting the bishop on the board or bishop d7. Doesn't really have that many other useful moves, like even if he had a free move. Whereas white, does white have useful moves? Maybe put more pressure with the add a bishop here. Yeah, white doesn't have that many useful moves either. I mean, white has plenty of useful moves, but white doesn't have that many direct moves without doing some trades. I mean, he could do this just to torture black a bit. So what I'm thinking is something like, if black just waits, okay, black defends. So one move, put the bishop on. Okay, so just increases pressure. If black does something else, just waiting, white could just play a waiting move again. That's what I meant by he hasn't got that much useful things he can do. Okay, black could actually do this at some point. So black definitely just curling up into a ball a little here. And so white's got sort of free hand what to do. Okay, that's an interesting. So I said that one of black's ideas might be to go knight there. So this move is quite interesting because it's, again, just shutting down white's ideas. So I think RapidVariants has recognized black doesn't have that many useful moves, and he can just put bishop there, increase the pressure, and what does black do? There's no need to execute on that. What else could white do usefully? So I don't think it's that useful doing an h4 push. That might unnecessarily weaken. Okay, so yeah, TheFinnisher is being tortured a little bit. Actually, RapidVariants is keeping that bishop in hand. Makes you wonder what he's keeping it for. And RapidVariants in the chat says, this is actually a line I considered playing with black myself. Bishop e8, however, is new to me. Ah, okay, I hadn't... That is quite nice. So black has found something useful to do. That's quite... Yeah, I had completely not seen that. So now black has ideas just putting the other bishop on e8, for example. Not that... Yeah, he won't want to do that, though, because that would weaken e6. So, okay. So black has found a useful move. Nice. And I see, so one option is the bishop, white actually places that bishop in defense. Okay, so white has actually some kind of freedom to form a plan here. I'm still thinking bishop here might be good, but it is just this thing I don't really want to help him develop. Knight here, takes. Then put a knight again here, queen moves. Oh, I think, yeah, this is the danger though. So, yeah, oh, but knight defends this square. So it's forming a plan that's the struggle here. I think that's quite cunning. So I think his plan is even just to put a bishop here, which will force the trades of bishop and move his own pawns further up the board. And just continue to press black into a smaller and smaller space. And all the while, you have to watch out. This is going to be the weak square in black's camp. So white does have initiative. The question is how to convert it. Bishop here is also an idea. Takes. And then how would you use the knight? Okay, that's interesting. So notice how any h6 move is always going to weaken g6. And that's concerning because the light squares are already very weak around black's king. So my hunch is that's a mistake. It's a mistake as long as white can get hold of diagonal pieces. So that's the next question. Are there diagonal pieces that white can get hold of? But what it means is if ever white plays this, takes, does black have this move? Maybe it loses a pawn, but it opens a rook file. I don't know. Maybe not. Ah, interesting. So the king is trying to flee from the danger. As we said, this is a problem. There must be something concrete white can do here. I mean, bishop here is a slow idea, but might work. g4. Hadn't thought of that. Does look quite effective, though. So do we follow it up with g5 or not? And apparently no. And now we see the purpose of rook e1. It was to protect the e4 pawn and prepare this. The thing is, if you don't take this pawn, it's going to come to d5, and the press is going to be really complete, because black could put any piece on e6, and if it's ever captured, it's replaced by a pawn on e6. So not taking it is trouble, but taking it is opening up. The king and queen are suddenly on this e-file and this push. You might not even take back, you might just go straight ahead with this push. Now do you? Let's see. Captures, push, captures. Maybe not. Because at the moment black has 3... Okay, now it's actually really interesting. So black's just threatening to open up the h-file, and white naturally is turning that down. I feel like black is just going to get pressed back here. So in the process, notice white will be creating some holes in his camp, but like the space advantage is immense. Yeah, so the threat was this and this, and just suffocating black. Now I just wonder whether this is ever an idea. Maybe you take the knight first and then this. This is what you have to think about. Okay, so this pawn can never take because of the queen. You don't really want to lose the queen for nothing. But on the other hand, 1, 2, 3, but there are only 2 defenders. So it doesn't seem to quite work. So or at least it would be a sacrifice. So he's taking back, supporting this push. And does he have time is the other thing. So if he simply pushes, takes the knight, takes the knight. And a knight's not going to give any checks even, let alone mates. But that looks strong. Because that would be a double attack on the queen. You can't just block it. So I feel white might have missed something there just by just pushing. I really feel pushing was really strong there. So that's move 21. We'll see. Takes back here. Black's trying to get some kind of counterplay. In the meantime, as I said, e6 is the key square. Yeah, he just goes for e6. I mean, I was very tempted just by pushing. And then pushing again.
It's so sad that black cannot queenside castle there.
Yeah, indeed. If black could queenside castle, his king would be out of the way, and maybe a6 would be an idea. So hi there, GSVC. I'm streaming this to Twitch, so it's great you can join us. So I was just saying how white's plan was to suffocate black here and sort of like restrict pieces. Just the one move I was thinking is move 21, e5. Pawn takes knight, double attack on the queen. So
yes, but maybe e5 he can take on f3.
Yeah, e5 he takes on f3, and then you take on f6.
He takes, yes, he takes f6.
And it looks crushing. But,
so some sort of queen takes e1 there.
Queen
takes e1 check and pawn at e2.
True. Okay, that's a good point.
Then black threatens rook at f1.
Yeah, so that's true. That is annoying.
And white has then have checks.
Yeah.
So it's complicated for no reason.
It is complicated. Yes. Okay, so here actually black suddenly got a counterattack, almost mating if he went back to g1. So he has to go to g3.
Yeah, but I don't see anything.
He has to find something with pawns.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was that's problem for a white that he only had pawns.
Yeah, it was quite a good strategy. I mean,
I was considering king take.
Oh yeah, Lone Wolf also said in chat, if black gets a good attack on the king, he's happy to give the queen away. Yeah, I didn't notice the attack on the king with the at e2 move.
Wait, which chat? The Twitch.
Twitch chat. Just bold, i.e. Lone Wolf was commenting in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, I'm not following that chat.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so takes. I'm now very confused. What's happening here?
Yes.
The threat is pawn at.
I'm also very confused. I would consider bishop at g6 is what I would play. Black should play king d7, I think. Pawn at f7 feels like nothing. It's best with only the pawn in hand.
So pawn c4 is what I'm worried about. Oof, has he walked into? Okay, so he's still okay. I see. He's just taken. He's given himself an escape square on c3. That's good.
Bishop at f5 now. Yeah, white should be winning this.
1 second left. Okay, he blocks. Just. I mean, it's fine as long as he's not getting mated.
Knight takes e6. Or is there something takes h4 now? This h4 cannot work.
Okay, check. I think he can run. Oh, there's another knight check. Oof. I completely missed that. If he ran, knight g1 was mate, almost. That was quite scary. So he just takes everything. Okay, that looks dangerous. Because now RapidVariants gets a free hand with a double check.
I could play knight before check. Yeah.
Yeah, so here was getting mated, but
It should be made. Bishop at d7. Queen c4, no?
yes. And with the queen. Here is checkmate. Okay. Okay, so we've got another e4, e5. So yeah, well played from RapidVariants, because the finisher last season, actually the finisher beat RapidVariants 2-0, I believe. So the RapidVariants is getting some revenge here. So I think knight f5, yeah, I think knight f5 is a theory move here, going for g7.
This is something I never bothered to study.
Me neither, because I don't play it. I just see it quite often. And I assume at h6, but...
I always get a bad position with any color in it.
So you don't want to queen trade as black, which means that d5 pawn can't really take anything. So yeah, he takes the knight first. Yeah, and then takes g7, okay. I'm tempted by at g5 kind of ideas. Okay.
I'm gonna assume they're still both in book.
They're still both in book. I don't know. I think the finisher thought for about half a minute there. So.
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to remember the theories. I would not believe that he never analyzed it.
It's true. We're only on move 10.
Like after knight f5, you're gonna get this position by 4.
Well, they're both thinking. So
if you study knight f5, you study this position.
I'm wondering if king takes king takes g7. I guess that was sort of forced. Yeah. I don't know if it is. I mean, king takes g7 doesn't feel like it makes black safer. They're still at h6, queen at g7 idea, so queen is still mating. So
you cannot leave that pawn on g7 or even lose the rook for nothing.
Yeah, rook e8 doesn't work, you're saying.
Yeah, no.
Well,
no, at least Black has some idea of at some point playing rook g8.
Okay, so you're simply trying to shut off the d file, and also ideas of at e2 at some point in the future. So at least he's getting in some.
It was book still for RapidVariants. You said in chat he expected 10 knight c3 instead of castle.
Ah, so.
Oh, knight at d4 seems like a good move.
Yeah, it's at least black.
c4 and f5. Yeah.
c4 and f4 and one
F5,
day
yeah.
f5. Yeah, sorry, c4, f5, and one day e2. Oh yeah, you said RapidVariants says I expected 10 knight c3. Okay, so knight c3 instead of castle. Okay. And then, or the Scotch 4 knights, or knight c3, knight f6 before. Ah, okay.
Well, now he's revealing what his preparation and what we can expect from the finisher.
Okay, at g5, finally, about time too.
Yes.
Okay, so His pawn takes bishop too risky. Probably. Where's that knight heading?
Maybe t takes c4 is playable.
Yeah, that's what.
Bishop takes, knight at h5.
Okay.
I'm not sure where the king should go. Maybe king h8. But then the queen is
Hey there.
Hi there. So, hi there, the Lone Wolf. Greetings. Well, we got 12 people on the Twitch watching, but apart from just both, they're all quite quiet. Well, they've certainly both gone into the tank here.
Maybe it's 10 juice boot accounts.
Yeah. So what does d takes c4 seems good, right? Yep. It's seems playable. At least that's why we shut off the d file so that we could do it. But now what? Okay, e2 is now covered. Backs off the king, makes sense, and to h8 like JSVC said.
Yeah, seems like black's getting safer.
I mean, my hunch would have been g8, but I think the reason why not g8 is white's going to have a knight in hand, so...
No, I mean, he wants rook g8.
He wants rook g8,
So
okay. Yeah, that's true.
He needs g8 for the rook.
That's very true. But also I meant that black doesn't have that many diagonals to get in on g7 yet. Not yet, so it does...
He might play rook g8 even now, maybe.
Yeah.
White is not going to get any diagonal.
Yeah, so let's see. Are there any diagonals white can take? Answer, no.
Nope.
So rook g8 is possible. What else? Knight takes... Knight takes f4 is hugely risky.
Then what finisher is doing?
Knight f5.
Yeah, knight f5 is actually...
It's hugely risky.
Possible.
It looks possible. G8 doesn't look like... I don't
I mean,
understand
even if
why
queen
he's
takes
doing.
queen...
I mean, unless I'm missing something, I think white just gave a piece to nothing.
Okay, so what's the move?
Yeah.
What's the move for black?
Is he threatening some bishop takes c7? Because if he isn't, then black
So-
can take any move.
Okay, so what's the piece that white just gave with bishop f4?
No, white is a piece down. He just gave the bishop on c4 for not much.
So just play through again from the beginning. Oh yes, you gave the bishop on c4, yeah, I agreed. I'm also not quite... yeah, bishop f4 I don't understand exactly. But maybe he's thinking bishop f4 just back off to g3.
Yeah. No, he wants to play bishop takes c7, maybe.
He wants bishop takes c7, you think, just to get a pawn.
Yes, I think that's the idea.
Okay.
Then play pawn at g7, who takes, bishop takes, king takes, g takes f6, bishop takes
Okay, so
f6,
he needs to play
h5.
queen takes first now. But okay, black is just better.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like just winning even.
okay, so calculate. Queen
Yeah,
takes, rook takes. If you took the pawn, I mean, can't you just put the pawn back on g7 maybe even?
No, you just don't need to worry about g7.
Don't worry about g7. If ever white puts pawn on g7, he's got 3 defenders and you've only got 1 attacker.
Yes.
So you go straight into the attack.
Yeah. If he trades queens, then maybe he's just threatening knight takes h6, g takes f6, rook takes g2.
Oh, of course, rotates g2, yeah. That's absolutely... Open up the g file. Yeah, for sure. So...
By the way, they did spend a lot of time in the first 14 moves.
Yeah, the first 10 were quite quick, but that 10 to 14, they took a long time. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so he's trying to grab a bishop, maybe?
I mean, until move 10 was all fury.
Yep.
Of course.
So giving white the option of taking a queen. But like you said, this looks dangerous. Oh, I see, yes. So he's thinking of meeting knight takes bishop by rook takes bishop. Yeah, and he just does it the moment I say that. Okay. Although, yeah. Queen takes rook is... Oh, knight takes.
Being very provocative.
Yeah, now if pawn at g7, he will take h6.
Yeah, white has got something on the dark square. White has got something on the dark squares. It's quite...
It's still difficult to play g takes something because of rook takes g2.
Yes.
Or at least that looks scary. Because it's not directly made. Like, if you allow rook takes g2, just do something.
Queen f1. Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not... G7, was that G7 necessary?
What's happening?
Just don't play f6.
Yeah, don't play f6. Just play at f6. So, of course, knight at f7 would be a smother.
But now black is threatening knight at h3. So
Oh.
like, white cannot play pawn at h6, but...
Yeah.
No, knight
Okay,
at
knight h3 now wins.
So it wins because it wins the queen,
Because of mate.
and now it's a smothered mate. Oh, well played by RapidVariants. So I was just saying, last season, TheFinnisher won this matchup 2-0, but RapidVariants has shot back with a 2-0 victory against TheFinnisher.
Yeah. Didn't expect
Messy Answer says, wasn't 20
the
knight...
finisher to go out of fury so soon.
So the messy answer says, wasn't 20 knight at h3 good? And the answer from Stockfish is it's mate in 6. Because if you go straight to h1, you have to go to h1. You're the pin, yeah, and then you're picking up the queen. So yes, it absolutely was good, like we saw in the game. Knight g1, and then this pattern of knight h3. If he goes to here, queen f2 is mate. If he goes the other way, so actually RapidVariants actually missed an earlier version of that mate with 30 seconds on the clock. He found it a second later on move 22, but yeah. Yeah, so where did it go wrong for white?
Okay, but the key point to the game is probably move 10.
So move
Or
10.
white castles.
Yeah, so knight c3 is normal, castles.
Knight c3, I think there's a JQ there, RapidVariants game.
Yeah. So apparently at g5 wasn't such a hot idea for white. So knight at d4 was a nice find from black.
But this is a tricky opening. A good choice for black.
Yeah. And just after taking a look at the first game, yeah, so there was just one point in the first game which I was wondering about, which I think GSVC then. I'll flip it around to the version. So the line I was thinking at some point, which is quite interesting. Yes, it was this point here. So, this and at e6 was a good move, and I was thinking about a much sharper line of this takes the knight here. And the problem was with queen takes rook, queen takes queen, and then knight at e2 check. Maybe this sort of thing. Let's do that again. If white went e5, takes the rook, takes queen with check, knight at e2, king goes to knight at e2 or pawn at e2.
Even. I thought queen takes e1 then.
Yeah, queen takes e1, queen takes e1.
Yeah, that's the one I said. Queen
Yeah.
takes e1, queen takes e1.
So pawn at e2 apparently.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, so pawn at e2 it doesn't like because of queen at e4 check.
And then she takes f3.
And then taking g7, and if taking g7 or taking f3 depending, but actually knight at e2 is interesting, and actually the more it thinks about it, the more it thinks actually white is actually good here, but it gets quite deep. Rook at g2, king h1, and then at g3, maybe from back, or bishop takes f5.
I think it's just winning. Black has nothing to block with.
Yeah, so the move for black apparently is knight at e2 check, but I mean just a simple f takes g7 actually is, yeah. So knight at e2 check, but eventually f takes g7 is going to come. Oh, the rook could defend g7, so maybe it's not so strong. F takes g7, rook takes g7. Oh, bishop at e4. Okay, so basically it's very unclear, but I don't understand. Bishop to e4. The idea is that if you take it, you can check and win it. I don't understand. I'm so confused. So anyway, there's a crazy line that I've got. I'm showing on the stream. I really don't understand it at all. Oh, okay, that's a discover check. Okay. So maybe try and hide away. But then there's at e7. Okay, that does make sense. Yeah, okay, so there's some kind of discover checks ideas which are nasty. And if you try and get out of the way. Yeah, okay, the king is getting mated somehow. Okay, so that is the kind of threat. Ah, okay, so the bishop is a defender. Okay, so you can't take that bishop, so you have to do something like this, king h2, try and defend, and then you're losing this bishop, and then this is weak. Okay, so I guess the answer is that idea was good, but for reasons which are way too complex for me to understand, even playing about 10 moves deeper. The e5, yeah, the e5 push is strong, but probably takes quite high depth. Hi there, ominous ZH. Okay, so yeah, thanks GSCC, and thanks to Lone Wolf for joining me to cover this match. And let me just load up how to load up this. Let me just load up the ZH League website just to give you the current standings. So 12 team, that's the team I'm on, led by 12 teen. Kata substituted as an alt for round 1. Is playing against King Switcher, team led by King Switcher, with F Gala on board 6. And you can see G Rogers is our board 3. I'm on the board 2 of the 12 team. Okay, so we've got a nice 8-2 lead with a match just coming up in less than half an hour on our board 7. Then there's Shaka Zulu against Team 3. So it's the team led by RapidVariants against a team led by TheFinnisher. And they've just taken a 7-5 lead, so they've secured at least a draw. It'll be down to JW Wells has to win both the games for the Finishers team if they're going to get a draw from that match. Otherwise, the RapidVariants team will win. So yeah, well played from them. And finally, there's Zigzag team against the Pawn Pulverizers, which is still up in the air. Pawn Pulverizers very close to victory, but they have their board 6 and 7 to play, and probably slight underdogs on board 6 and 7. So it could go either way.
What happened? How are we leading?
You're up 6.5, 3.5. But
how? We lost like 5.5 points.
Yes, but one of those matches was Joanna Tries against Asian 42, where Asian 42 arrived 40 minutes late, and we've seen the stream where Joanna Tries actually streamed that match, and she was clearly unwilling to play when she did play 40 minutes late. So we think it was unacceptable. For her, I mean, it was her choice, but it was unacceptable to play in those conditions. The whole time she was like, I don't want to play. So we've asked both of them to replay, and actually Asian 42's got back to us saying he might need to back out from the league because he's too busy. So we might actually find an alt to play against Joanna Tries on board 6. So yeah, that match basically is.
Do I have the first draw of the league?
Sorry?
Do I have the first draw of the league?
You have the first draw ever in the league in its 6th season, indeed. But I think you'll have to give your hats off to Zixon for playing like some of the best Crazyhouse we've seen in a long time as well in that match.
I will go down in history for it.
Yes, you will. Yeah, you can say something like how Zixon played yesterday. You have to hats off to him, right?
Yeah. Good one. I'm not happy with.
He's not happy with how you played, but okay.
I just missed way too many moves.
Right, I see.
I would have needed those moves in 3+0, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
But so
how I blundered out of the opening for games.
Yeah. So you are 6.5, 3.5 up, but Zigzag team might still be slight favourites because obviously your board 7 is completely new to Crazyhouse, and Crocodile Hunter has in the past been a 1700 in Crazyhouse, so I'd say you're underdogs on board 7 for sure, and board 6, it could go either way, and it also depends on who Joanna Tries ends up facing in that match, so it's definitely up in the air. But good luck with that. We just wanted a proper match, and we didn't feel that was a proper match. So that's why we spoke to both the captains of both teams, and we consulted between the ZH and we do. It's not normal, but we did want that match replayed. And yeah, okay. So all the results are automatically updated on the website by a clever bot. Yeah, so you can see the rosters as well for all the teams here. But it's going to be a big cut-off, but in fact, it's very cut-off. It's no good at all. But anyway, okay, so thanks everyone for watching. Good games from TheFinnisher and RapidVariants. Hard luck on TheFinnisher this time. RapidVariants had his revenge today. Thanks everyone for watching, and goodbye.